Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it is time for a full body workout. We started the day off with back squats. Now that I'm working on the shoulder health and the upper back, I really want to focus on kind of getting used to bringing that grip way in. This is a really close grip for me, and it's almost a high bar, but I used to be really strong with this grip. But notice I'm able to get into that position again, so this tells me I'm doing some stuff right with the shoulders, which means we're not going to do overhead stuff. I do want to do a little incline. I'm not going to lie, I didn't do incline today, but I do want to work on doing some incline. But I ended up doing with this because I also, with the squatting, I'm able to get up into the 400s again, but I feel like it's not as deep as I would like. And it would pass in a powerlifting meet, but I really do want to focus on just getting depth over and over and over. And I do feel like I need the sled work again. I do feel like my legs need the sled. So I went ahead and did sled work. Because I'm doing fairly low volumes of squatting, I do need it from a hypertrophy perspective. So I just did 375, and I do feel like now that I'm doing this closer grip, I don't know that I need to use a squat bar. I'm gonna probably work the power bar in next time. I want to work up to where I start getting some deep singles with 405 plus like this. But I wanted to just come in and really focus today on some quality singles. They're still heavy enough to give a training response, but I wanted to really focus on depth. I did a pretty easy 415. The other day on Monday, but I'm like, let's work this up, and I want to get up to where I start hitting more and more singles for a little more volume. So I felt like doing 4 of them with this today after the first little last warm-up one. Felt pretty good, and they felt good, right? They felt nice and good. We're getting pretty good depth on these. And so again, I just want to get used to setting up and getting into that bar position. But that's actually progress, and I feel like it's all the band pull-aparts I'm doing. So I'm doing reverse band pull-aparts. And I'm going to take out all the overhead type work. Pull-ups need to come out. I can just do rows, and I can do curls to make sure my biceps get worked. I do feel like incline, though, will benefit with my shoulder health because of the stretch it puts on my chest. I do feel like I need a little more chest flexibility. So I'm going to probably work some incline in, plus it really carries over to my bench. And I decided today, messing with grip on the bench, I like that really wide grip I've been doing. So I felt like I went inside the rings today, which you guys will see, and it just felt still weaker, and it doesn't feel any better on my shoulders. But I am getting back into the habit of, instead of completely flat back, digging in, using a little leg drive, a little bit of arch. So here's the thing. Completely flat back, no wrist wraps. I hit 350 with that really wide grip a couple months ago. Pretty at the same body weight I'm at now, really. I'm like maybe a pound lighter, if that. So I know I'm good there. So I'm like, let's work back on getting real tight again, right? A little bit of arch. Start wrist wrapping up again, and keep hammering that, and let's see if we can bring that up. But I feel like doing some incline work will help me with that too, with that wide grip bench, right? Since I can't overhead press yet. But this heavy set was only a double of 315. It was inside the rings. It was not the wide grip, right? It was not the wide grip at all. So again, it's obviously weaker. So even with a little bit of an arch, even digging in a little leg drive, I'm able to get triples with that wide grip flat back. So it tells us that really I'm quite a bit stronger with that. Even though this looks really good from a stacking perspective, I just have more strength with that other. So I wonder if I start doing a little bit of this leg drive and stuff I'm doing now, I think we'll be good there. And I can bridge the gap with a little bit of incline work. And I don't think I need to do the incline every workout, by the way. Again, that can be a lot because I'm doing 3 heavy sets of bench, all 3 workouts. I don't know that I need to incline all the time, but I do feel like I need to do at least one really hard incline session every week, because the incline absolutely will carry over, to that wide grip bench, definitely through my weak points. So I want to work some incline in. I almost did it today, but I felt like the workout was draining on a little long for me. So I'm like, let's just skip it and do some band work. So I think any days where I don't do incline, I'll do at least one set of high rep band press downs. But this back off work felt pretty good, so I went a little wider on this. So instead of doing that really close grip, I did more of kind of a medium. I got a couple fingers outside the rings, and that felt really good. So I feel like maybe I'm going to come in on Friday and do all my work, including the heavy set, but with a little bit of arch. It's going to be even more shoulder protective. Use a little leg drive. I want to see what happens when I go real wide and do my 315 step float with that same grip I hit the 350 on, but not completely flat back. And I want to start building that up. I want to build my bench way up while I'm doing all this stuff. So I've been messing with different stuff with it, but I want to keep that shoulder health on point. So I feel like incline work and just going ahead and power benching again, but with that wide grip. So a little bit of arch, like I got an arch here. It's not a lot. We're using a little bit of leg drive too though. Notice it, right? Have a little leg drive, a little bit of arch, not crazy. Still gonna brute strength through it. All right, but I'm gonna focus on basically squat, bench, deadlift, rows. And then I'm going to make sure I do barbell curls because quite frankly I need the arm, and you guys heard me discuss it last time, especially if I'm not going to do pull-ups. I'll just do curls, and I feel like curls are the only isolation I really am going to bother with, just some barbell curls. We're going to focus on these 4 big movements. I'll work in some incline every now and then. I want to be able to overhead press again. I'll eventually do pull-ups again one day, but I need my shoulder health to be completely on point. So I'm going to avoid the overhead stuff. So we're not going to overhead press, we're not going to do pull-ups. I'm going to hammer the band pull-aparts. I'm going to keep doing a little bit of supine grip dead hangs, and I'm doing a lot of supine grip band pull-aparts because I feel like those pull-aparts are helping to open all that up and strengthen those weak areas. Because I have some postural muscles. I have problems with my posture up top. So I feel like focusing on rows again instead of pull-ups will help with that. Doing that band work for the upper back, doing the hangs and stuff like that for mobility. Will continue to work on it. Now with the curls, because I do think that there's some long head of the bicep involved with some of that inflammation, I'm going to keep my arms pinned to the side. Even though we could argue, well, we get more complete bicep if we come all the way up and get that rotation of the shoulder. We can argue that, and that is biomechanically true. Also probably not great for my shoulder health. And I notice I don't feel anything in my shoulders when I just keep the elbows pinned down. And it's not my preferred way to curl, but if I'm going to pay attention to my shoulder health, I need to avoid that. Same thing I thought about, I could do some tricep extensions and lay and do them behind that. No, I don't think that's wise given the shoulder. I need all that inflammation gone, and I need my ability to open up that subacromial process so that I can overhead press again. And we can push the hell out of benching and rows. You guys can see the lower back there. Everything's all out. I had some people say, oh, you're hiding everything with a belt. No, I'm not. I do my curls and stuff without it. But see what I mean on the curls? So it's like I'm focusing on the full longest range of motion I can get while trying to keep my elbows pinned as close as I can to my side. So I'm trying to minimize any movement of the upper arm. There's always going to be a little. It's impossible to not move something a hair. But I'm really trying to just squeeze the hell out of that bicep. And I got 12, so last time I got like 10s with this weight. I'm like, oh man, this is so weak. But we got 3 sets of 12 today. So that tells me I need to bump the weight. I'm just going to use some double progression, I think, on this strict barbell curls. That way it's super strict, right? And that way my biceps do get some work. But I feel like all the pressing, I'm doing enough pressing volume. I don't need to spend a lot of time thinking of triceps. Not if I'm going to press that much. Especially you start repping more and more 315 on the bench, your triceps are going to grow. All the lat work helps. But some band work doesn't hurt. So I did a set to failure. I'm like, since I didn't do incline today, we just did 3 sets of bench just to make sure my triceps do get enough stimulus, I did a set of high rep band press downs to failure, which you guys will see coming up. But the curls, these felt really good. And even though I feel weak as hell with the super strict curl, it's probably really good for my biceps. But we're already progressively overloading it, right? I was able to get 10s last time. I think I got 11 on the last set, but I had to rest pause it. And I got 3 sets of 12 here, right? 3 sets of 12. But I noticed when I was done with these later, I come over and I'm coming back to the camera. I noticed my right bicep was looking all big and veiny after the band press downs. I'm like, what? I'm getting a little bit of arm pump, probably some glycogen storage from having not done any curls for a while, for weeks and weeks now. Doing some sets of curls, my biceps are kind of like, oh, we got to replenish some glycogen or something. Let's get this flowing. And then I did some press downs, right? Did some press downs just to make sure those triceps can finish. I'm going to try not to do these too much on the off days. I worry that I'm overtraining my triceps with that. We just do them on lifting days like this. So any days I don't incline, I can do a set of band press downs just to finish those triceps off, get a good pump in them, get some blood flow to them. And then I finish up with sled. So I sprinted the sled. This is a shorter sled because I added weight. I don't normally do that. I've never sprint this much with it, but I'm like, let me add a little more weight. We can just shorten the distance. I haven't done any sled work in over a week, but I'm like, let's start doing some again. I feel like my legs need it. This is probably more important for my squat than my box work is. So I'm like, let's get in, do a set of sled sprints. Let's go back and do these every day if weather permits. I cut them out for over a week, but I just feel like I need them. If I had to pick between these and the box jumps, I think these give me more carryover to my squatting. But pretty happy overall with the workout. Definitely assess with the bench. I like the wider grip more, so we're gonna bench wide. I feel like it's fine with my shoulders, and I'm gonna work in some more incline again, maybe on Friday. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.